Thank you so much for joining us this morning as the mayor presents her budget that lays out investments to lay the path forward for Los Angeles and continues to break the status quo, as she mentioned in her State of the City last week. This budget focuses on our work to urgently house Angelenos, keep LA safe, build a greener city, and provide Los Angeles families with the opportunity to thrive. First, we're going to hear from the mayor. Following that, we'll hear from Deputy Mayor of Finance, Operations, and Innovation, Matt Hale. He's going to talk about a few points outlined here in the budget summary document. If you don't have one, there's one in the back, and staff can assist you with that. After that, we are going to hear from our City Administrative Officer, Matt Szabo, last name S-Z-A-B-O, who will talk about the city's revenue projections and financial forecast and provide context for this budget. With that, I will hand it over to Mayor Bass.
Absolutely.
Good morning, everyone. Before we get into the budget, I just want to thank the Los Angeles Police Department again for responding to the incident at the Getty House yesterday. Investigations are ongoing, so I won't have any further comment at this moment. But again, I want to thank the Los Angeles Police Department for their work. We're here today to lay out a path forward for Los Angeles. As I said during the State of the City a week ago, the state of Los Angeles is stronger because of the work we are doing to break the status quo. I'm releasing a proposed budget today that continues the urgent work we began together. Thousands of people came inside, and tent encampments came down in every council district. Violent crime and homicides fell. We completed more than 2.5 million service requests for Angelenos. That means 100,000 more services like tree trimmings, pothole fillings, more than the year before. Let me say this at the beginning, this would not have been possible without a new kind of partnership with the leadership and the members of the City Council. So I want to thank them for continuing to join us as we build a new LA together. Now, in the coming years, we know that we will face challenging times amid national, state, and local economic uncertainty driven by broad economic trends and the coming national election. This budget continues our momentum toward change by prioritizing city services, core city services, but using this as an opportunity as a reset so that our budgets moving forward are more honest, transparent, and more focused on getting the job done for Angelenos. To retain the city workforce and maintain critical services, we must pay fair wages for those who keep us safe and those who improve our city each and every day, like sanitation workers, pothole repair teams, police officers, traffic safety officers, custodians, and more. We will continue to hire. I want to repeat this. We will continue to hire for critical positions. And to be clear, there are thousands of vacancies still on the books. We are eliminating some vacant positions that have been on the books for years. We are investing taxpayer dollars in services and those that provide them, not empty desks. As the city controller found, 2/3 of city employees can't even live in the city that they serve because it is unaffordable. Paying our city workers fairly is the right thing to do. It is responsible, and it is the key to maintaining and improving the way the city serves Angelenos, and we are making investments. This year's budget equips the city to continue moving with urgency and smartly invest in housing solutions to bring more people inside from tents, cars, and RV encampments. This includes building an interim and permanent housing infrastructure to save lives, promote stability, and create pathways to well-being. The budget also invests in work to prevent people from falling into homelessness in the first place. We're seeing a record number of applicants to the police academy. This budget focuses on recruitment and retention of officers, and it also maintains our staffing goals for the department, allowing full police academy classes. We are continuing our expanded approach to supporting the safety of our communities by focusing on preventing crime and interrupting the cycles of violence. The budget maintains the current levels of investments, which have strengthened gang prevention and community violence intervention programs. We are funding the hiring of firefighters. The vast majority of calls to the fire department are medical in nature, so the budget continues the emergency appointment paramedic program to hire paramedics to respond to these urgent calls and resources to help accelerate response times. The budget maintains core city services. To further improve the delivery of services, the budget will invest in modernization of the My LA 311 system to better meet the needs of Angelenos. By investing in system enhancements, departments will be better able to respond to calls for service, and residents will be better informed about when services will be delivered. We're building a greener LA by continuing investments in fighting climate change, including transportation, electrification, water resilience, and organics recycling. A new climate cabinet is being formed that will help guide new required climate plans at key city departments, stakeholder engagement, and action on climate justice. Our work continues to make LA a 100% clean energy city by 2035. Investments are set aside to increase opportunities across generations, demographics, and geographies in ways that are sustainable and strategic, are vital to the success of the city. This budget also invests in increased ethical governance and ensures the city remains prepared to endure any uncertainties in the year ahead. We made difficult decisions in the process. One example is my own office budget is taking a 10% cut. But we have learned that LA needs to change the way it budgets so that it is honest, transparent, and delivers on the people's business. This is something the city controller pointed out, and as soon as this budget is signed, we plan to really use this opportunity to make a strategic analysis, a comprehensive analysis of all city departments. We will begin preparing for next year's budget immediately after this year's budget is signed, so we can take advantage of these tough times to determine how departments can function in a more efficient and effective manner. And because we are expecting difficult times ahead, we are proactively creating a unit in the CAO's office to pursue grants that will help address these issues. One thing I learned in the years I spent in Congress was that Los Angeles leaves dollars on the table. And we're going to make sure that every dollar that could possibly come to LA, either from the public or private sector, we are able to capture. This is a reset. We will continue our urgency to address homelessness. We will continue to make LA safer for all. We will invest in our city workers to ensure that our city services continue. Together, we can build on the foundation of a new Los Angeles that we established together. Let me now turn the podium over to Deputy Mayor Hell for more information about what this budget proposes.
Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor mentioned, my name is Matt Hale. I'm the Deputy Mayor for Finance, Operations, and Innovation with the Bass Administration. And I want to talk to you about a few of the specific things that this budget invests in, starting with the continuation of funding for the Inside Safe program. The budget allocates $185 million in right-sizing the program, learning from the lessons of our first year of operating it, and we will focus on finding increased efficiencies to continue our interim housing, our supportive services, permanent housing support, and other opportunities that we may find to operate, to bring people off the streets. We also invest $17 million in our city's family source system, which helps families at risk of falling into homelessness acquire access to stay housed, get new job skills, access to county and other state and federal services, and otherwise keep themselves from falling into homelessness. And in doing this, we prevent homelessness. We also recruit and retain officers for the Los Angeles Police Department. In addition to the contract that has increased wages and retention pay, we're also working on bringing officers in more quickly by investing in the personnel department and ensuring that we are going to get through background investigations so that officers that have the right background are able to come into the police department more quickly. In the fire department, we are also focused on recruitment and retention. We are funding full LAFD drill tower classes, which we expect will bring in new firefighters into the fire department. And we're also continuing our emergency appointment paramedic program, which brings paramedics in and trains them as they are on the job already responding to medical calls, which allows the fire department to be more effective in the way that it responds to the vast majority of its calls, which are medical in nature. We are also continuing an increased investment that we made in the gang reduction and youth development department, which operates out of the Mayor's Office of Community Safety. We saw a 26% reduction in gang-related homicides in the year 2023, which we are celebrating and want to double down on that success with a continued investment in the GRID program. And as the Mayor mentioned, we are focused on paying our city workers fairly. This budget does incorporate the recently approved deals with our labor partners and ensures that we have a workforce that is well-trained, well-paid, and can deliver on the services that Angelenos demand. And on green investments, we are making a $24.6 million investment in fleet vehicle replacements for the city, a $14 million investment in new electric buses, and a $12.9 million investment in EV charging infrastructure, because in order for us to take advantage of those new vehicles, we need to have the ability to charge them up and keep them up and running. And we also have a $1.2 million investment at the Bureau of Street Lighting in public charging infrastructure, focusing on disadvantaged communities to ensure that the benefits of electric vehicle emission reductions and electric vehicle adoption is capable in every neighborhood in Los Angeles. And we're also supporting investments at DOT to continue the wildly successful alfresco dining programs to make sure that the restaurants in the city that wish to continue outdoor dining that started during the pandemic are able to do that on a permanent basis. Thank you very much. Oh, and at this point, I will turn the podium over to Matt Szabo, our CIO.
Okay. Thank you very much, Matt. Matt Szabo, City Administrative Officer. The Mayor's fiscal year 24-25 proposed budget builds on the efforts enacted in the current year to stabilize the city's fiscal condition in response to growing challenges. It provides clarity on how we will address the budget imbalance caused by rising expenses at a time of limited revenue growth. And it presents a path towards returning to structural balance by fiscal 28-29. Just by way of background and to provide some context on the revenue side, the city began this current fiscal year on very strong fiscal footing with a balanced budget and a robust reserve fund of 8.2% of general fund revenue. 6 months later, it became clear that the city was facing challenges. Our economically sensitive taxes began to slow, and we now project general fund revenues. We now project general fund revenues to end the year $180 million below budget. At the same time, we are projecting that the overall 24-25 general fund revenue will grow by only $82 million. That's just 1% over the 23-24 adopted budget. What we're seeing is that growth in sales tax and business taxes remain constrained by consumer demand, dampened under inflation. The city's hotel taxes are below average in growth, due in trends in travel, particularly international travel. We expect those trends to continue. Property tax growth is anticipated to be lower than average following the second year of declining real estate sales and stagnant home value appreciation. Throughout our picture of our revenue, the likeliest risk or the greatest risk to city revenue continues to be continued inflation and continued high interest rates. At the same time, the city faces significant cost increases. In addition to the rising labor costs, the general fund continues to subsidize special funds and special taxes at very high levels. This budget will subsidize those special funds by $425 million. The largest subsidies in those areas are in the solid waste area of $131 million and street lighting of $17 million. But the mayor's proposed budget provides a path to absorb sluggish revenue and rising costs, and it puts the city on a path to a structurally balanced budget with surpluses in the out years. To offset the increased cost and sluggish revenue, the proposed budget does include $293 million in targeted general fund expenditure reductions. Chief among those, the proposed budget eliminates 2,139 positions. That generates a savings of about $180 million. Eliminating these positions, these mostly vacant positions, is the essential component to balancing the 24-25 budget and regaining structural balance in the future years. Our projections indicate that although the city will still face challenges in the coming years and deficits in the immediate term, that the city will turn those deficits into surpluses by fiscal 28-29. This structural balance and these future surpluses are only made possible by the modest and strategic reductions included in the mayor's proposal, and my office strongly recommends the adoption of the framework proposed. Thank you very much.